everybody. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the Space City of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold for right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. Watson with a give to Miller. He's got the first down here inside the 30. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
Hank Lorenzo Alexander is the ultimate chameleon in the NFL. Has reshaped his body to play different positions. Fullback, defensive tackle, defensive end, outside linebacker, special teamer. He's done it all, and now he's reaping the benefits. Fully entrenched as an outside linebacker in the NFL.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D. Here I come.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The dump-off gets him 9, so now they're in much better shape for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Double tight.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into third and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. Nothing after one on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He finds his target, John Brown. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's McCoy. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at them. They get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Well, CD, the Houston Texans, they're back looking like contenders. They ran into a bit of a speed bump in Baltimore a few weeks ago, got clobbered 41-7. But since then, rebounded with that Thursday night win over the Colts in Week 12 that put forth a strong showing, 28-22 against the 10-1, now 10-2 New England Patriots.
Yeah, that was big for them. But I want to go back to that Thursday night game that you referenced against the Colts. Many people thought they'd get beaten that game. Colts came in looking like they were going to, really do a number on Houston, even though it was on the road. That win, I think, elevated their confidence in what they were doing, how they were doing it, and it solidified things when they beat the Patriots. Because Deshaun Watson, their quarterback, he's back to truly being Deshaun Watson again. 3 touchdown passes against the Patriots, and even caught one himself. What a night for him. So they're a game up on the Titans now, 2 up on the Colts, but the Texans will play the Titans twice in the final 4 weeks. That's going to be fun.
From the 31, Watson completes it to Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 45-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Watson now to throw. Finding fouls complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson, and his throw is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
I'm letting you know right now.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He may try and run for this. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
From the gun, here's Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line.
That's another Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Now a first down throw. Watson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Watson now on 3rd down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT as the first half is winding down. And the Texans have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's put that team on the hook.
To throw again. Allen, he's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A final shot before half for Allen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession, and he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Allen. He finds McCoy. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Bills send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done. Like that, exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Miller. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
58 for Mike, 58 for Mike.
A shotgun snap for Watson, and Thomas has it. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
From the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Watson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's look at some of the big games week 13. So these are ones that our crew probably think of the biggest 4. Let's rank them 1 to 4 as far as how big they are and what they mean. Baltimore at Buffalo, San Fran at New Orleans, KC at New England, Seattle at the Rams. How would you rank those? What do you think?
Well, this is going to sound self-serving since I'm working San Francisco and New Orleans, but to me that's the #1 game because the #1 seed in the NFC will be determined that week for that moment. Okay, the winner of that becomes the #1 seed. I think the #2 game, Seattle at the Rams, because Seattle's trying to maintain pace with San Francisco or become the #1 team in the NFC West, and the Rams have to have it if they have any designs of making the playoffs. The #3 game, Baltimore at Buffalo. Buffalo's announced its presence, that big win on Thanksgiving Day over Dallas, but Baltimore's the hottest team, the best team in the league over the last 8 weeks. And then you finish up Kansas City, New England. How is that the #4 game?
I know.
Hard to believe, but it is in this instance. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Texans send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now Allen. And that's complete to Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Allen hands off to McCoy. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm here all day.
To the air, Allen. And he finds Beasley, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Allen going to throw. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Hey, behind him, go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Foreman. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now it's Miller. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as to understand where they are on the field?
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Watson hands this to Foreman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
You must be dreaming.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
He don't know no better.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
We're set. 19.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.